Hello, everyone. Rimmel here again, Head of Marketing and Sales at InvoZone. Today in Spotlight, we have InvoGames, powered by InvoZone, where we develop games that keep players coming back for more. Joining us is Roberto, Director Software Development at Atomic Golf. Hi, Rob. How's it going?
Hello, Ramil. Doing good. How about you?
Going great. And I think it really wouldn't be a stretch or an exaggeration if I say that you're absolutely in love with our gaming dev team.
Oh, yes, absolutely. They've been more than professional and helpful, I would say. They literally saved us.
So, Rob, why don't you start by introducing yourself and telling us a bit about Atomic Golf and its role with F-Flight?
Yes, so I've been a flight already for quite a while. I have worked with different teams at Flight when they were opening two separate venues, which it did not go as it should have. There were a lot of issues during deployment and stuff not working. Uh, those two venues were Back Nine and Lux, and we were under the management of the Fulbridge brothers around that time. Atomic Golf was already on the plans. That was a big plan for one of the major investors, which is Bobak Mostagassi. And Flight was to deliver the latest in golfing games as they were going to open their location in Vegas. And for us, having the software at that time not where we wanted for the other venues, it was quite a challenge knowing that we were going to open one of the new big attractions in the strip, well, close to the strip.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It was quite challenging for you as well because you had just taken on reins as a technology leader at Atomic Golf. And we were in this together, I would say. And we often joke about it in-house that if our engagement was a movie, it would be titled From Firefighting to a Smooth Swing.
Yes, definitely.
And, and I still remember our first conversation. It almost took us a year before we actually kicked things off. And before you stepped in as a technology leader, you were constantly putting out fires. So let's discuss the most complex part of this engagement that was modernizing and re-engineering the legacy application. There were lots of architectural challenges, and so how it affected the operational goals and the efficiency overall.
Well, I would say that at the beginning, before InfoZone joined, there were a lot of hurdles that we have to fix because the previous development team took on the big task of re-engineering supposedly the project and adding three new games. But at that time, I was focused on the pipeline, making sure that all of the deployments from the games will take no less than maybe 30 minutes to 110 computers. But after I finished the pipeline, the games were not ready. So in let's say a month or 2 months before opening, I was given the software completely for the games, and the previous team was removed. So I was kind of by myself fixing all of the issues that the software had. That some of them were kind of beyond fixable to a point that we needed to re-engineer the software. And at the same time, the backend system was not in a good spot during opening. So yeah, there was a lot of challenges. I had to spend nights just refactoring games, refactoring specific integrations, and redoing the API calls back to the backend because it was not organized, it was not structured, it was quite a mess, and the project was huge for no reason. The
Yeah.
project was around 100 gigabytes, and I took it down all the way to 20 gigabytes at most, and it could have gone even lower. But yeah, that was a lot of work just by myself, so I really needed help pretty much because at that point I did tell Bovak and the other team members that we are in a spot that if we want to make this successful, we have to start from scratch. We cannot continue using this that has been touched by so many people
Hmm.
and it's been left in a beyond repair state.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and it was not just about, I mean, our engagement with you was not just about writing a code and calling it a day. I think together we really went into trenches to solve real problems. And after the deployment of the upgraded version, from performance standpoint, there were lots of issues that we were able to resolve, such as the CPU, GPU utilization, memory management, network efficiency, and a lot more. So how did that work out for Atomic Golf?
It worked out pretty good because when you joined, you also helped adjust many issues that we had with the backend. Also, the backend was kind of disconnected already, so we had to remake a backend. So at the moment that InvoZone came in, we were also on fire with not having an actual backend. So the GPU utilization, the CPU utilization, Daniel was able to find very fast that there was a lot of stuff in the background that was rendering and not seen and unsupervised that was affecting the frames per second on the system. Uh, but after many adjustments that were worked by InvoZone and us all working together, we were able to get the old software to a stable point, allowing us to enter into rebuilding the entire application.
Yeah. And now the new system also handles scalability. The team was explaining to me, now we can support more concurrent players or venues without any major slowdowns. And I think that was your goal as well. And even apart from that, so
Yes.
it's interesting that you mentioned about Daniel on our team. We hit a major milestone together, and that is the launch of F-Light Range 6. And I remember you mentioning that the launch was flawless, 100% success with zero issues all day. And that's a home run for the first F-Lite deployment that went live without a hitch. So how big of a win was this for Atomic Golf or for someone who's leading technology at Atomic Golf?
Well, that it comes to compared to what we had before, it proves a point that actually having the right people in managing and the people that know software working together can make things happen. So major deployment, no issues on the first try is something that Flight never had before. Something that didn't happen a lot at back nine. It didn't even happen at Kicking Bird. Even at Vegas, right? When it opened, it was quite a bit crazy. So for us to be able to deploy an application from scratch, first time and no issues, it was a huge success because that also told everybody, including the leaders and the investors, that hey, we are in a good spot now. We can now expand this software and bring it to other venues.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big win for Flight.
Yeah. And when you announced that, I remember we all went out for a pizza party. We were so excited about it. We were like, okay, we have worked hard. Now we're going to party hard. Okay, so Rob, in sports and entertainment industry, you either innovate or you actually fall behind. And Atomic Golf isn't just another venue; it's a fully immersive experience, and the technology had to match that vision. And again, it wasn't just about updating games; it was about redefining the experience to keep the players coming back for more and to create that community and engagement. And I believe we developed two games, Shrinking Target and Pin Master, right? So,
Correct.
so how are you seeing the impact in terms of player retention and engagement?
Well, with the minimum amount of time that we had for developing those two new games, I would say they did become a major success to replace the games that I decided to remove from the previous team. So just to roll a little bit back on that, we had Starcast, Xenobreach, and Warp Ships. Those games, they took a whole year to work on them, and they were a flop. They did not work. Players didn't understand what was the mission on them. They were all spacey with starships and everything. So I said, I'm gonna get this out of the way, and in only 2 months of work, and I will say from Daniel's side, we were able to get shrinking targets and pin master ready for live, which is something that it's insane for me. Game development takes more time than that. So being able to just in 2 months bringing two new games to the market that players understand and enjoy, it's a huge win for us. So yeah, it was great. Um, Also, the fact that players can come into those games and immediately know what they're doing instead of having to read rules or it's
Exactly.
just it's the experience you want to bring to the players.
Hmm.
All this they go in, they play, they go out. That's as simple as it is.
And then they come back to play. That's the best part.
And they come back to play later.
Yeah, and for a brand like Atomic Golf, stunning visuals and immersive experiences, once again, are very crucial for keeping the players engaged. And your target is the Gen Zs, I'd say. With that in mind, we made some major suggestions and improvement on the graphical pipeline, such as lightning models, shader optimizations. So how did that work out? And how are your players actually responding to that?
They do like the new visuals of the games. They pretty much enjoy the fact that not only they look better, but it looks smoother on screen, right? Something that didn't look like that before. Uh, Another that it's still not out, but players are gonna really enjoy. It's already been in the works with InvoZone. Is the courses that have taken a major upgrade, and also not at the expense of memory size, because memory size can affect the pipeline, and InvoZone was able to keep good graph fidelity on the graphics
Mm,
without making the game big enough to like
mm,
delay pipeline. So that's something I work really hard with them.
mm.
Is let's try to make it to where it looks good, but it's not a lot of space, right? Not many gigabytes, I would say. Um, but no, yeah, it did make a change, and the team was very excited and happy when we deployed. They were ready to play the games, and actually everybody that worked at Atomic went ahead and played all of the games the first day that we released. That's
Amazing.
how excited we were.
Amazing. And so over here, I would like to discuss a bit about your decision to outsource gaming development because you already had an in-house team of developers, and then you migrated towards InvoGames. So a lot of people think that companies only outsource to cut down costs. But for Atomic Golf, it was about finding the right expertise, especially in the gaming industry. So what stood out to you the most about how we worked, especially in terms of communication, support? And I remember the gaming team mentioning that this game never stops, so there can never be a downtime. So let's talk about that.
Well, I worked with multiple teams before that joined Flight. And for me, the major decision for keeping or letting go of a team is results, right? Uh, a lot of people want to go their way and not be complacent to what the target is, which the target is being able to make something that looks good, it's fun, and can be a product for other venues, right? Uh, for me, a decision it was actually difficult. At some point, I wanted to grow the in-house team, but at the same time, finding the right people to work on the software will take way longer than finding, I would say, a third party that already has experience with games. So
Hmm.
when InvoZone came in and they provided fast results, I saw for myself, and even the investors saw like, okay, we can move forward with this, because previous teams did not show results in months from development. InvoZone did it in just a month of development. They even brought us a new backend, and I will give a good kudos to Azim on that. He was able to recreate the backend for us to connect to in only a month.
Wow.
Something that for me takes way longer than that. He was able to pull it off in just a month. So there's not only the game side, but the back end side that is so important for this business to work flawlessly. Because if one doesn't work, then we have issues everywhere, right? So yes, communication was great. Daniel and Asim have always been there. And when I worked with Tiff as well, they were all communicative. They were faster responding. They will work overnight to make things happen.
Yes.
And that's something that I really appreciated for InvoZone because they care about the product. It was not just working in it, they cared for it to be successful. And that's what I want people to care for something to be successful, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You won. That's akin to us winning. And I always say that the team on Atomic Golf has always been on Red Bull. And they love working with you again. I think that's a sign of a true leader, how you appreciate each and every resource. And the first time I asked you how the developers or how the team is performing, you said they're amazing. And I was like, okay, fine. I won't be able to put it that way. I think even still, the team is going to beep on it. So I think that was actually the best part of it. I think the more appreciation they get, the more driven they are to ensure that they match your energy and your passion. So I know I've already asked this question about player engagement, but again, coming back to the fact that you're in sports and entertainment industry, which is very competitive and is being driven by technology now. And the idea behind Atomic Golf was that golf happens to be for people of a certain age, whereas you wanted to bring it to the youth, to the Gen Zs. So, keeping in mind that you have new games in place now, immersive experience, and high-performing applications, how has that impacted the player engagement and management efficiency overall?
Well, I would say it has impacted on the user experience from the feedback that we have received, that the games are different from what they see on the giants like Topgolf, for example, which they have many venues. People are very familiar with them. So people are excited to see a venue that has more games than just golf related stuff. So when you said like younger, like Gen Z come in and play, I would say yes, we're targeting the younger people to come in, have food, drinks, and enjoy. So moving forward, we're gonna try to make more games that are more engaging to the players, where they can level up as well, so that they can come back.
Yeah.
So the new games that we're planning are also gonna have higher moving objects, graphics, spaceships. It's not just gonna be targets. So this is gonna be the next big step from flight. Working with InvoZone is trying to bring something new that the competitors don't have, right?
Yeah.
So it's a new experience, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was my next question as to how you see partnership between InvoGames, powered by InvoZone, and Atomic Golf. And you've already mentioned that. We have bigger plans and we are just ready to dive in. And it's amazing working with you. You're a very passionate technology leader. And we look forward to amazing collaborations moving forward.
Oh, definitely, Ramil. I mean, moving forward, I think staying with InvoZone is a good bet, and everybody, me and the investors and the managers are very happy that InvoZone is part of the team because they feel safer that we can release stuff that works and it's playable, right? And not only from the game side, but also for the what the players don't see, which is the front desk, the backend system, all of that. We can make sure that moving forward, which we have a lot of work to do, we're gonna be able to deliver on a timely basis, right? So we're not here to promise Atomic we're gonna give them new games in a year. We're gonna provide them games in the next 3 to 6 months, and that's what they want. They want new stuff for customers to come back. So yeah, our collaboration with InvoZone is gonna just moving forward grow to a point that whenever we have even more venues, we're all gonna be ready. We're gonna have the games. the courses, and we're gonna base everything not only on the youth but also on the golfers. We're gonna try to put a little more effort to, and all of those pieces will come back together to a very successful product.
Absolutely, and we are very much aligned. Each and every team member on the team thoroughly enjoys working with you, and they come very excitedly every single day to work.
For me, this is the best team I've had so far, and I keep telling everybody, and they know it. Like I want InvoZone, and if they want more, like faster result, okay, we can grow InvoZone because that's the team I want to keep moving forward with us, because I know that we can deliver with.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rob, for your time today. It's always amazing having a conversation with you and looking forward to many more amazing collaborations and projects that we work on together.
Same here. Thank you, Ramil, for
Thank
having me.
you. Bye-bye.